Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, they've been giving back for more than half a century, and now they're celebrating that milestone. We'll show you what's planned as the Princeton Closet marks its 56th anniversary.
Plus, a weekend full of wonder in the sky and fun on the ground. Find out what's planned for the Great Galena Balloon Race and how this family-friendly event helps support kids with diabetes.
And how a sister-run business is adding flavor to this weekend's Farm Life Festival. We'll learn more about the new downtown drinkery making its mark in Grandview, Iowa. Hello and welcome to Quad Cities Live on this Tuesday, June 17th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier.
I'm Kyle Keel. The Farm Life Festival is a family summer tradition that's brought charm, creativity, and of course community together for a full decade now.
Yeah,
almost.
The festival is celebrating its 10th year at the historic R7 Reclaimed Barn in Grandview, Iowa, and this year's event may be the most meaningful yet. Joining us now is the creator of the Farm Life Festival, Tennille Register. Tennille, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
It's always great to be back here with you guys.
Yes, we're excited to have you.
Yes.
Okay, so let's kind of, take us back to 2017. How did this whole event begin for you?
Yeah, so at the time, we opened our business in Grandview called R7 Reclaimed Barn, and we're the only business in town. We have a tiny little charming town, but there's nothing there.
Right.
And at the time, markets and vintage shopping was really taking off as a trend. And we said, hey, why can't that be here? And so we invited people to make what we call the R7 road trip. And we said, hey, let's give them more than just the barn to show up to. Let's invite some vendor friends and other small businesses who are creative and trying to kind of make a name for themselves. And so that's how it started. We just invited some friends to join us and said, hey guys, this will be worth the road trip. And Farm Life Festival took hold.
Wow, that's great.
You mentioned the charm, of your farm. So talk about how this just kind of adds to the atmosphere for this festival there out on your farm there in Grandview.
Yeah, so you're in authentic farmland. Like if you look one direction, you're looking back toward the small town of Grandview, and if you look the other direction, you're going to see nothing but fields for miles and miles. And so centered in the middle is a great big red barn, original from the late 1800s, and you can see that the hayloft is in original condition, and we've added plumbing and electricity and some of those conveniences.
Make it modern.
Well, good,
Yeah, but you're just really going to get the feels.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are seeing images on the screen right now of the inside of it. It just looks so beautiful with the different vendors in there. It's very, very charming. And speaking of vendors, you host many of them at the Farm Life Festival. So what can guests, participants expect to see when they show up?
Yeah, so we pride ourselves in trying to have something for everyone. Whether you're into vintage and farm life, you're going to find something. So I think this year's count is around 58 right now, vendors on the ground.
Okay, that's quite a few.
Yeah. And so you're going to find from boutique clothes, welded jewelry, to like handmade toys, gifts for dad because, Father's Day weekend, was just past us, and just things that will make you want to come out. Kettle corn, lemonade.
Perfect.
Good treats.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
All the good stuff. So as we mentioned, this is I guess you've been doing it for 9 years, but this is the 10th festival. And this one's going to be pretty significant for you and your family. So let's let people in on maybe a little something that you'd like them to know.
Yeah, so this is really kind of my first public confession.
Here we go.
Right? So we saved
First
it for you guys.
I'm nervous.
Right?
Yeah.
So we started this festival when our kids were really little, and it was a summer tradition as a family to drive the golf carts and help put up the tents and do all of the things. And our youngest just graduated high school.
Oh my goodness.
And
so fast.
Yeah, they're college age and wedding plans, and they do love helping with Farm Life Festival, but it's time for them to kind of create their own traditions. And so we are open to finding another host for Farm Life Festival if somebody is interested in carrying on the tradition.
Wow. Oh, and look at this. We have a family photo up on the screen. Talk about your beautiful family for us.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because that's a big part of how you even named your business in the first place.
That's right. R7, Found, Reclaim, Loved is our motto, and we were a blended family, and we didn't all share the same last name. So R7 gave us a family nickname, our last name of Register, and there's 7 of us. And so that really became an anchor. This business became an anchor for our family of kind of giving us an identity and a way to work together. And the festival gave them something to do on summer break. We're strung out from Iowa to Texas. And so this gave us just like a really great tradition to celebrate community and togetherness as a family.
Yeah, I feel like we missed out on a really great reality show.
Right.
With our
you should have
Seven
made some
family.
calls. Yeah.
I know. I think it would have been really
It's great.
You know, we did a reality show one time, and we
did?
decided that wasn't the life for us. Yeah.
I can imagine it would be.
Ooh.
It would be probably awful, but I would watch it.
Yeah, I will send you the link for $1.99.
do.
You can watch it
Yes.
on YouTube, and it was
Okay.
a DIY show.
There you go. That's what I was
Makes sense.
thinking.
It makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. You guys are just all so sweet together.
Yes.
So speaking about this year's festival, what are you most looking forward to with this year's event? Anything especially new or meaningful that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, so we have a lot of new first-time vendors this year, so
great.
I'm really excited about that. One of them is a mobile library,
Aw.
mobile bookstore, not a library.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like you get to shop, so I'm very excited about that because I'm passionate about reading. So that's something, and then we also have a new coffee business in town called the Downtown Drinkery,
yes.
and this
Yes.
will be the first time that you can stop there. We'll talk about that more. And then we just really hope that people catch on to the family atmosphere. It's going to be a little toasty maybe. So
It
we've got
is.
the shade tree, we've got live music planned, and we hope people kind of take the spirit of our 7, which is all about hospitality, nostalgia, togetherness,
Yeah.
and just feel that.
Yeah.
Everything has been so divided and strung out culturally lately that we just want people to take a deep breath of like good old fashioned
Yeah.
I love that.
hospitality.
Yeah, don't let that heat deter you from headed out there here this
Yeah.
weekend. So let's talk about the last 9 years. I mean, you featured, dozens and dozens and dozens of vendors. What has it been like to see that impact on your small community?
You guys are going to make me emotional because I also, as a mom now, right, have had this experience of like building into people and watching them fly the nest.
Yeah.
And it's a lot like that with your small businesses.
Sure.
Oh,
They
yeah.
come, and sometimes sharing their product at Farm Life Festival is the first time that they've publicly been
wow.
open for business.
Sure.
And then through the years, you see them with their own websites, their own storefronts.
Yeah.
That's gotta
And
be
it's
great to
just
see.
like a really rewarding thing to be a part of. Like it is part of my life's calling and work, I feel like,
Yeah.
the Farm Life Festival.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
And for folks who are planning on coming out and that maybe have never been there before, is there anything they should know? Like, what does a typical visit look like for somebody who's visiting?
So great. Plan to stay a little while.
Okay.
Because it's going to take you a while to shop it all, sip it all, sit and listen to music. You're welcome to bring a picnic blanket or a
good.
lawn chair and take a break in the shade
Yeah.
and just chill. We have seating available too, but you can bring your own. Furry friends are welcome.
Okay.
Kids 17 and under are free because we want everybody to feel like
That's
they can
great.
come. There's no gravel. Right? Like that's
Okay.
an important thing. Like you're headed for a country experience, but you're not going to get lost. We're very simple off of Highway 61 and
Okay.
you'll find your way right to us.
There you
That's
go.
all great info to
Easy to
have.
find.
Yeah.
Easy to
Yeah.
find. Well, yeah, definitely carve out plenty of time here this weekend. The Farm Life Festival is this Saturday, June 21st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Parking is free. Admission to the festival itself is $5, but as Tennille just mentioned, kids 17 and under do get in for free. And Tennille will be back with us throughout the show to talk more about this year's vendors, along with details on that exciting new venture with your sister. Can't wait to hear about that.
Great, thank you.
Lots more to talk about.
Absolutely.
Still to come on QCL, the Princeton Closet is marking 56 years of lending a hand. Learn more about the impact of this nonprofit organization and find out how you can be part of their upcoming celebration. Next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
For more than 5 decades, the Princeton Closet has been a vital part of its community, turning donated goods into direct support for those in need. Now, as the nonprofit marks 56 years of lending a hand, they're inviting the community to join them for 3 days of celebrating. Here from the Princeton Closet are Diane Van Drew and Amy Murphy. Thank you both for being here today.
Well, thanks for having us.
We are so happy to have you. Thanks for making the trip here to Davenport. We really appreciate it. Diane, 56 years is an incredible achievement.
Yes, it is. We're so proud
Absolutely.
of everything that we've been able to do.
You must be, yeah. Tell us how it was when you started out 56 years ago, or what can you tell us about that
Well, the
time?
closet started 56 years ago with a group of teachers who were worried about the migrant children in the area who needed shoes.
Oh, wow.
So they would take brown paper bags and trace their feet to try to find shoes and boots that the kids could fit. And they enlisted a group of church women to help them. So they would would find shoes, then they went into clothes, then they went into finding household goods, and they would give them to the migrants and their families who were too proud to ask for charity. Well, then from there they decided, it just grew and grew and went into a store that now in the last 6 years, we give back all of our not-for-profits, and we've been able to give back through lending a hand over $1 million.
That is truly incredible, and what an amazing backstory. Thank you for sharing that with us. If you could, describe your mission a little bit for us and just talk about how you've kind of incorporated that into the work that you all do as a team in your day-to-day.
Okay. Well, our mission statement is create an atmosphere of love and kindness to all who enter. We support those in need of material goods at a fair cost, and we support this mission with a spirit that is pleasing to our Lord and Savior and glorifies Him in all ways, and give back to our community and support those programs that are helping in areas of need. And that last sentence is what all our lending a hand is about.
Yeah. Okay, well, wonderful. And you couldn't do it, I'm sure, Amy, without an entire team. So tell us about your incredible staff and truly the volunteers that you have and all the work that goes into that.
Yeah, really the magic of the closet is the volunteers.
Yeah.
Many of them have been there decades, and they continue to come back and give to the community. And it's we have about 53 current volunteers, always looking for more if anyone out there is interested in serving. And we do have some staff, but we can't do it without them as well. But the heart and soul of the Princeton Closet is the volunteers.
It's the volunteers, the people that are essentially just donating their time. So for folks that are interested, that are watching right now and going, this is really something that I could get on board with and volunteer my time, what kinds of things could they be helping with?
Yeah, we have a wide range of kind of the life cycle of donations begins at our donation center. So there's an element of receiving donations, there's a sorting of donations, pricing, merchandising, cashiering, interacting with our customers, even just community involvement, getting our word out there, our message out there. So there's quite a diverse way of volunteering.
There's all kinds of jobs for you as a volunteer. Diane, a couple of times now you've used the phrase lending a hand, and you've talked about it really as an initiative, as an organization. So what does that mean for all of you and for this organization, lending a hand?
Oh, our Lending a Hand is a program where we take all of our profits at the end of the year and give them back to the community. It is, you go on our website, you find an application, and if you're a not-for-profit in the Bureau County area that does not receive tax revenue, you can apply by November 30th and send in your 5013C with your application. We go through all of the applications to find out what you want and what you do, because we're looking for not-for-profits that impact people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this last year it was 44 organizations that we were able to give back to.
Wow.
And it was a little over $200,000 that we gave out.
That's amazing. That's a lot of money. Amy, what is it like to have that kind of an impact on so many different organizations?
It was powerful. I've only been with the Closet since November, and when we gave out the awards on January 8th, all but one organization was present in the building to receive their award checks, and that was pretty emotional and overwhelming, and to hear how every bit that is done within each organization to better their service to the community, it's powerful. It's emotional.
It's very meaningful. Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the celebration, Diane. It's planned for a little bit later this month. So tell us what we can expect, what participants can expect, who can go to the celebration, all of that.
Well, we're hoping that everyone in the community will come so they can help celebrate what we've been able to do for the last 56 years. And it is June 26th, 27th, and 28th, the last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this month. And the store is open from 10 to 5:30 on Thursday and Friday, and 9 to 5 on Saturday. We're going to have food trucks there each day. Cow's Coffee will be there on Thursday from 9 to 1, because we want to hit the crowd that stands in line before the store opens.
That's smart. That's very smart.
And then on Thursday we have Dido Pretzels. They will be there from 10 to 4 serving their stuff. And on Saturday, Flags of Freedom will be there for a cookout, and Second Story Teen Center will be having a bake sale.
Wow.
We're also hoping, weather permitting, to be able to have a sidewalk sale. And we have different baskets that will be raffling off, and we'll have door prizes, and as you leave the store you'll get a cookie.
Oh, well, that right there is all the more reason to show up. And because you talked about the store's hours and being open and the possibility of a sidewalk sale, you did bring some items from the store with you here today. So Diane, this really does just kind of show a variety.
We have just about everything you could ever want, and then we could have it this day, and if you don't pick it up as you walk by, somebody behind you may take it, so you need to pick it up as you see see it.
Absolutely.
And stuff is always continually coming out on the store, on the floor, so it changes constantly. But we thought this was a good variety of things that we have.
Yeah, I think so. We've got a Coach purse here, and right in front of it, directly in front of it, some beautiful turquoise jewelry. You have this antique Mickey Mouse phone, which is like the cutest thing. I mean, I could see a collector like watching this on TV and wanting to scoop that up immediately. So this really does, Amy, show the variety of stuff that you guys have in store, and really a reason for people to make a trip out, even if they're not from the Bureau County area, and check out what you guys have.
We get a lot of people from everywhere, and follow us on Facebook. Every Wednesday we put our pictures of what's new for Thursday. It draws our crowds, or kind of the catalog for the week when you walk in.
Yeah, that's a fabulous idea. Well, just so much to celebrate. The Princeton Closet, the anniversary celebration. It is Thursday, June 26th through Saturday, June 28th. It is located at 2026 North Main Street in Princeton. And if you want to learn more or get involved, maybe volunteer like Amy talked about, visit them on the web at PrincetonCloset.com. Congratulations, Amy and Diane. Thank you so much for making the trip out here and telling us all about what you do.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. And just ahead on QCL, it's more than a market. As you just heard a few minutes ago, it's a memory maker. We'll get an up-close look at some of the vendor products you can find at this year's Farm Life Festival.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
This Saturday, the annual Farm Life Festival in Grandview, Iowa is celebrating 10 years.
Yeah, with vintage finds, artisan makers, food trucks, and live music, it is a celebration of small businesses. And back with us from R7 Reclaimed is Tennille Register. Tennille, you know, we were talking, this really is all about supporting small businesses and the vendors. And I'm sure each vendor that you've talked with really over the last 9 years, last 10 festivals, I mean, they all have a story.
They do. They have a story of what they make, why they make it, right? And what their future goals are. So I would love when people come out to Farm Life Festival to take time and interact. It's kind of one of our qualifications for being a vendor, is that you're willing to share and be vulnerable and talk to people about what you're doing and why. So I can set up all the photo ops and try to make this fabulous thing, but it really depends on the vendors sharing for it to be a meaningful day.
And their relationship with the customers. And I think too, like as a customer, someone who is shopping at an event like this where there are tons of vendors, that's kind of part of the charm. It's like you'll remember that item, which we'll talk about all these items in just a minute, but you will remember that item so much more when you kind of hear a little bit of the backstory behind why it's there in the first place, whether they've made it or they found it, you know, it doesn't matter.
And more in our lives, we kind of want a little bit less clutter, which means we want the things we do choose to take home with us to have some meaning, have some story, our homes to be a little bit collected. And so when you can have somebody's handmade item become part of your story at home, I think that's really golden.
I agree.
And we mentioned at the beginning of the show, more than 50 vendors here this go around. So are they just local, or is there a certain regional aspect to it as well?
Yeah, so we have from Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, and Wisconsin.
So we got the whole Midwest region. We love it.
Yeah, and like I said, some of them for the first time, some of them for the 10th time, right? Just depending on where they're at in their business journey.
That's great. Well, let's talk about a few of them here today. I don't know, where should we start? Should we start
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, we can start over there, maybe with some of the handmade food goods. So the Blue House Dry Goods has the cookie mixes.
They've
been here, right?
And
they're under new ownership.
They are.
And so they're coming and they're bringing like a mobile trailer. And they have tons of samples now too. So you get to line up, try the cookie and have it. It is good.
Really, really good.
The stuff we've made here has been a winner. That's
absolutely.
And then we'll also have vendors that have baked goods like ready to carry, take back to your picnic basket, take them home for Sunday brunch, whatever. So definitely plenty of food going on.
Wonderful.
The toys here are from Remember When, and they're coming up out of Missouri. And this is all handmade. Like, look at the detail on the tractor wheels.
The wheels are very detailed.
Yeah, and it's yet sturdy enough that a toddler can play with it. So I actually interviewed this vendor on our Facebook Live to find out, like, how do you get into this? And he literally has been woodworking since he was 9 years old. And when he had kids and grandkids, he just kept trying to change the pattern to work in a way that would be kind of indestructible and last. So, I mean, you're talking a really timeless piece. And it has all the exchangeable, like the planter, the wagon. He has a fire truck, like all different pieces. So I just think, like, if you have kids, grandkids,
what a collection.
Like
you could even display it. Like it's one of those things. Okay, so I'm like one of those parents where I don't like when the toys like make the room just look
ugly.
awful.
Yes.
You know, like I mean, it's gonna happen either way. Like you got kids, you're gonna have the Barbie dream house at some point in the living room, which you know it's gonna happen. But I love stuff. Oops, that looks like this.
Yes.
That like you know it's
appealing to the eye.
It's appealing to the eye. Yes.
Yeah. When my kids were little, I also liked stuff like this wasn't going to break and be plasticky and thrown out.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good
just like
point,
it's lasting instead of adding to the junk.
A little more durable as well.
Yeah. So
And speaking of that, home decor, this is very durable. I almost knocked it off the set just now.
Yes.
It's a great place to find home decor because as you were talking about, I mean, like a lot of the big box store, everyone's going to have the same stuff.
Yes.
This is different.
Unique, vintage, antique, handmade. That picture is probably 100 years old and it's going to last for 100 more.
Sure.
And you
As
can
long as I don't
change it
get
out
too close to
seasonally.
Don't knock it off.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have a lot of that. Similar, like even with your boutique vendors, when you have somebody hand selecting the pieces for the quality, the style, you're just talking like a whole different, level of shopping. We also have gotten for a lot of nostalgia. So like the Iowa puzzles, these are coasters that then go together and it has all of the different towns on them. So those have been like a really popular gift item.
Sure.
For like maybe family who has moved away, things like that. Then we're going to have some authors on hand. I am an author now, and so I printed a holiday guide for grieving through the holidays, and maybe I'll come back closer to the holidays and talk to you about it. But
Yes, please.
we'll have that there, and then we have another author from Cedar Rapids who's going to be there, and just really trying to pick up on each kind of artistry and bring it into the festival.
Great.
So it will include painting, some hand woven things. So just really tried to be dynamic this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the barn, you can have some fun with our new men's hardware line, is what we call it. And so the Trophy Husband shirt has been really popular. And then these are fun for men or women. They're different kinds of dice. So those are like barbecue dice. So tonight, right? You're having like tomatoes and fish on the grill, right? And then you build your recipe around that. And we have them for like date night, exercise.
Steak?
And mushrooms, right?
That's
So
perfect.
it goes together.
Yeah, and then we have like the equipment to go with, right? Like your meat claws, different things like that. Bourbon smoking.
Oh yeah.
Because that's so we just really try to focus in. We have old-fashioned games like jacks. We're selling a kit that has things like here's the directions to play kick the can and Red Rover, right? Because if you don't go out in the yard and teach your kids how to do this stuff, they don't know.
And we honestly we need to. We need to.
We need to get outside.
Yeah. So we've tried to really capture like the all-American summer this year in the barn, and then all of the vendors on the ground are going to add to that feeling.
Yeah, bring back that nostalgic feel.
That is very, very cool. And of course you have boutique items too, like the clothing that you brought there on the end. So cute and so different.
Yep, and lots of jewelry, both handmade, then of course the welded, is always a special experience. Freeze-dried candy. There will be a few vendors.
That is so popular.
It is big.
It is big.
It's good.
Yeah. Kettle corn. You will be able to smell the festival when you get off of Highway 61.
I am sure, yes.
That is amazing. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's going to be a great day. And you're sticking around with us throughout the hour, so we should just mention that. We're not done quite yet. But any tips that you have after doing this for so many years for any first-timers or even experienced people that have been before, what do you think is like the biggest tip?
Yeah. So plan your day, like either be there at the gate when it opens.
Yeah.
Or come around 10:30 and plan to stay, through lunch and into the afternoon. First guests through get a free tote bag for shopping.
Perfect.
Bring some of your own. Feel free to bring your wagon, your wheelbarrow, your dog, like whatever you want. Yep, we'll have golf cart shuttles. And then we're also thinking of ways to keep you cool for this weekend too.
You're making it too easy for us.
She is making it way too easy. There, once again, on your screen is the information, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Grandview. Admission is $5. Only if you're older than 17, though, which is a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And Tennille, again, will be joining us a little bit later in the show with something really fun, and we're excited to talk about. So, yes, we will see you in just a few minutes. Still to come in our second half hour, details on the Great Galena Balloon Race, how you can enjoy a hot air balloon ride, and much more, all benefiting the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, plus an historic renovation with handcrafted refreshments. We are spotlighting the Downtown Drinkery in Grandview, Iowa.
But first, we're going to take a peek outside. Lots of sunshine, warm and humid this afternoon, and that is setting the stage for some storms overnight, some of which could be on the stronger side. We'll talk about your severe threat and a first alert day heading into Wednesday, coming up in your first alert forecast.
reliable. This is your First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
First day of summer is Friday, but don't tell that to Mother Nature because, yeah, we've been experiencing summer here this week and really the last week or so across eastern Iowa and western Illinois. Lots of sunshine today, a little bit of wind out of the south and southwest. Adding into the warmth and the humidity, we've got the fair weather clouds, high clouds as well. But some of these clouds could bubble up and produce a few storms here this afternoon. Now, overall, the severe threat here this afternoon, very low. I'm not too concerned about any winds upwards of 60 miles per hour or any large hail, but later tonight we could see a few more gusty storms get into that 50 to 60 mile per hour range. So we're going to keep this first alert day going through Wednesday. This will likely go through the early afternoon hours as we have an area of low pressure and a cold front that's going to roll through. There's a level 1 to 2 risk of severe weather out both for tonight and tomorrow here in the viewing area. It's mainly a level 1 risk here, but notice the focal point of severe weather definitely off to our south and west where we have a level 3 to 4 risk in portions of Kansas and Oklahoma. Here locally, again, a level 1 risk, which means maybe just a couple of storms could be on the severe side through early tomorrow morning. That shifts off to the east here as we head into the late morning, early afternoon hours. So our eastern hometowns are under that level 1 risk. Again, the main threat's going to be some damaging wind gusts and maybe some hail up to the size of quarters. Tornado risk looks pretty low. That will mainly be off to the southwest of the TV6 viewing area, but a lot of elements that we still need to keep an eye on. This is, again, something that we need to take hour by hour here through the night. So we'll be with you here every step of the way. But again, over the next few hours, we'll start to see those storms develop probably between that 6 and 7 time frame as it looks right now. May get a lull here later this evening after sunset, and then once again after midnight toward daybreak. That's where we'll have another batch of rain and storms, probably a little more widespread roll through, bringing in that heavy rain threat and again that low end risk of severe weather. So right now we're tracking a disturbance off to our south and west. This piece of energy going to continue to track off to the east. So that's why over the next few hours we'll probably start to see some storms bubble up and move into the region. Low pressure here spinning out in portions of Nebraska. So under that's where we have that storm development. So that's going to continue to track off to the east and keep that risk of thunderstorms with us heading into Wednesday. So here is the latest run of ExactTrack. This is going to look different from what it did earlier if you watched our news at noon. And it's going to look different when you watch Teresa a little bit later tonight because that's the type of environment we're in where, again, we have to take things and the trends hour by hour. But again, between 6 and 7 o'clock, we'll start to see those storms move in and still kind of bubble up in nature. These are going to be very pulsy in nature, which means they're going to be widely scattered. They're going to drop some heavy rain. One side of town might get an inch of rain. The other side, maybe just a few sprinkles. That's the type of environment we're in. Again, we'll get that lull here later this evening, but once again, overnight, we'll see storms develop off to the west and southwest. Those get in here by early morning. So here we go, between 7 and 8 o'clock, we could have a broken line of storms moving in. Have to watch for the wind potential, maybe some hail potential with this as well. Those will race off to the north and east, and then we'll see some heavy rain behind that as that low pressure kind of fills in and moves through the area. So we'll keep a close eye on the trends here through the day tomorrow. But if this solution of ExactTrack comes true, I tell you what, tomorrow's going to be much cooler than what it was today. Maybe highs not even getting out of the 70s. But right now, we'll go for daytime highs tomorrow in the lower 80s. Upper 80s return here on Thursday, and then we're back to 90 on Friday. So Thursday, we'll kind of get a break in the really muggy air mass, but heading into the weekend, that heat and humidity returns. Highs in the mid 90s. We're going 95 Saturday and Sunday. Overnight lows in the low to mid 70s. So yes, wow, a very muggy air mass in place this weekend. Could have heat index of 100 to 105. So certainly want the sunscreen and want to stay hydrated here for all those outdoor events this weekend, Morgan.
Yes, and no doubt my air conditioner will choose this weekend to stop working.
Buzz. Oh, don't say. Morgan, turn around and knock on some wood. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, those air conditioners will sure be buzzing in the neighborhoods. That's for sure.
Yes, they will. All right, Kyle, thank you.
You're welcome.
Still to come, up, and away. One of the Midwest's most magical summer events returns to the skies over Galena, Illinois. We'll get a preview of the Great Galena Balloon Race next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Well, it is one of the most breathtaking weekends of the summer. The Great Galena Balloon Race returns to Eagle Ridge Resort and Spa this weekend, bringing with it a sky full of colorful balloons, glowing nighttime displays, and family fun, all for a great cause. Joining us today is Steve Geist, General Manager of Eagle Ridge. Steve, welcome back to the show. Thanks for being here.
Yes, thanks for having me, Morgan.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, you guys always have something fun going on over in the Eagle Ridge area, planning lots of events all the time. But let's talk a little bit about what makes the Great Galena Balloon Race such a standout event in the area.
Well, it's been going on for almost 20 years now. So
Wow.
what makes this really stand out is one, where it's located beautifully in Eagle Ridge Resort and Spa. But for over the last 20 years, it's really a fundraiser for juvenile diabetes, and that's what makes it so special.
Yeah.
And over the last 20 years, we've been able to raise almost $350,000 towards juvenile diabetes research and Camp Her Kohala.
That is truly incredible, and we're going to learn more, a little more about that in just a minute. So for folks who are watching right now that are like, hey, this sounds like something I want to do, this is not just a one-day event.
Correct. This is 3 days starting this Friday.
Okay.
And don't worry about the hot weather coming, because our event's from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every night, Friday and Saturday night, and then with the race on Sunday. So there's a lot of activities going on, but it's 3 days full of evening activities to enjoy for the whole family.
Full of stuff to do. Yeah, so walk us through just a few of those highlights. Like, what can visitors expect? Let's say I'm headed out after work on Friday to Galena, and kind of take me through what that weekend holds.
Sure. So everything, we'll have a shuttle, free shuttle going on throughout the property.
Perfect.
And you want to get there early, because there's 5,000 to 10,000 people expected this weekend
Holy cow.
for the event. So when they arrive at 5 o'clock, we'll have an art show, an antique car show. We'll have inflatables for the kids.
Wow.
All that leads up, of course, to our gigantic blow when the balloons blow up.
Yeah.
And then they start from anywhere from 6 to 10 balloons will start to blow up, and then as the evening gets later, they glow, and then they'll launch each evening. And then we have live entertainment stages going on as well, and plenty of food vendors.
Yeah, that is just jam-packed with tons of fun, and those photos, I mean, they look gorgeous. What an opportunity. So you said roughly 6 to 10 balloons?
6 to 10, sometimes we'll have 15, but people think, but they're pretty massive.
They are gigantic.
Exactly.
Like, they're bigger than you think.
Yeah, exactly. And some of these balloons will carry up to 15 to 20 people, so they are pretty big when they start to fill up the sky.
No
So,
kidding.
yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so you already kind of touched on this. You know, this event isn't just all about fun, although it is tons of fun. It also supports two incredible causes. So once again, describe both of those and why this event is chosen year after year to raise money for charitable causes.
So of course it goes to the $5 admission is all it's going to cost you to get in the event, but that goes towards supporting juvenile diabetes and the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, which is also monies raised are going to go to Camp Her Kohala, which just is a camp that lets kids with juvenile diabetes experience camp life and learn how to deal with type 1 diabetes.
Wow.
So that's a very good cause, of course, that we're doing.
Yeah, it is amazing, and for those kiddos just to be surrounded by people who are kind of going through the same thing that they're going through, that is just very special, I think, for any family. So it's wonderful that you donate proceeds to that. And speaking of the balloons themselves, so are there any fan favorite types of balloons? I mean, when I picture the hot air balloons, I just picture them to be very colorful, but there's some ones that people look out for every year.
Absolutely. So that's a great question, Morgan, is that people ask, what kind of balloons can we expect? And, and I think they sometimes get it mixed up with like Macy's Day Parade, where you're going to see Snoopy and SpongeBob.
Right,
but
like our Festival of Trees parade,
Exactly, but you're going to see lots of color.
Okay.
There's lots of cover, there's lots of logos, a lot of the local areas. People will have their logos on the balloons, so you're going to just see lots of color.
That's great.
And lots of very flamboyant balloons.
That is gorgeous. And some folks will actually get the opportunity to ride in a hot air balloon. So how would we go about doing that?
Sure, absolutely. So this event is really up close and personal. So when you get there, you can enjoy the music, enjoy the food, enjoy the activities, but you can get right up close, talk to the captains of the balloons, and you can actually book your reservations to get on the balloons there and then. Now, I will say, come early and get there early, because they are very popular.
Yes.
Very popular.
Oh, I can only imagine, especially once you see them in person. You're like, how do I get on that thing and experience this? I don't want to forget to mention also Eagle Ridge Resort and Spa, which of course you're general manager there. This is also a great option for folks who are traveling from a little further away. You have all kinds of amenities there as well.
Absolutely, and like I say, I encourage everyone to get there early and enjoy our property as well.
Yes.
You can get on property, you can enjoy golf. We have 20 miles of hiking trails,
Wow.
250-acre lake. You can get on a pontoon and enjoy the lake. We have 12,000 square feet of brand new Stone Drift Spa, so you can come and get pampered while you're there too.
Oh, that sounds just perfect, Steve.
Absolutely. And there's plenty to do for the whole family at Eagle Ridge.
Yeah, there absolutely is. Okay, so anything else that we need to know before we go? Of course, with any weather event where it's going to be outside, you kind of have to be prepared for that. From what it sounds like, at least right now, it's just going to be the heat. You know, so I don't know how much of an impact that has on the balloons, but you'll update people.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll have an updating, and most of the event will go on rain or shine unless there's severe weather. The balloons, if it gets a little windy, it does create, but they'll keep them safe. And but they will blow. They usually will always blow up. It's whether they launch in the field with the weather.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, the Great Galena Balloon Race starting this Friday, June 20th through Sunday, June 22nd. Again, admission is $5 for adults and kids over 3. It is a cash-only event, so just keep that in mind. There will be an ATM on site. And a quick reminder, there are no outside coolers allowed. Of course, they want you to spend your money there because it is all going to charity. For more information on accommodations and any other activities at Eagle Ridge Resort and Spa, just visit eagleridge.com. Steve, always a great spokesperson for events there at Eagle Ridge. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here today. And still to come on QCL, sip, shake, and celebrate. We are mixing things up with the Downtown Drinkery, a charming cafe and cocktail spot with a front row seat to the Farm Life Festival.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
This Saturday, the 10th annual Farm Life Festival is back in Grandview, Iowa, but it's not just vintage treasures and artisan goods that are bringing people into town.
Yeah, at the heart of the Farm Life Festival is a beautifully restored local gem. We're talking about the Drinkery, and it's a must-stop shop, spot. There we go. That's what I was looking for. You get the idea. For coffee, cocktails, and of course, it's that community connection. And joining us now is Leanne Berger. She is the co-creator of the Drinkery, and she is sister to Tennille.
Yes.
Hi.
With R7 Reclaim.
Yes.
Ladies.
Right. Who's been spending the show with us today.
Yes, she has. And you know, Tennille has told us about this last couple times she's been on the show. And we were like, we have to have your sister on as well to talk about the Drinkery. So Leanne, this is the new spot there in Grandview. 8 weeks you've been open.
8 weeks, yes. It seems like forever. It's been a quick 8 weeks, but it's been a great 8 weeks. Yes, the community's been very, very kind to us.
Oh, that's great.
That is wonderful. Okay, the Downtown Drinkery sounds a lot like a lot of fun. Tell us what it is and what you serve there and just everything about it.
Currently, we are a small coffee shop as well as energy drinks. We sell lemonade. We sell all kinds of little drinks. Yes. We also have some treats, you know, the cinnamon rolls, got to have the cake pops for the kids, chocolate chip cookies. But our main product is definitely the coffee treats, as well as the energy drinks that the young kids like to drink nowadays. So
okay, and Tennille, talk about the building itself, because you guys have restored this very beautifully.
Yeah, so this is the only building left in Grandview after the fire in fall of 23. And so one part is our Airbnb, and then the other we turned into this Downtown Drinkery. It was originally a feed store in the late 1800s.
No kidding.
Then a grocery store like mid-1900s. By 1980, it was known as a really great Mexican restaurant called the Old Sombrero.
Okay, sounds perfect.
Then and then it sat empty, and we knew that we wanted it to be a place where people could gather. And so when Leanne was interested in opening up a coffee drinkery, I said, let's do it in that building, and we went to work on the restoration.
Wow, that's amazing. How are you feeling right now, you know, having seen all of this come to fruition and now being open and having people come in?
it's a dream come true. It really is. It's a dream come true. So
I love that, especially with the both of you and sisters. I mean, I just like you speak so much about family and all of that, and it really rings true with all of you. It's really a beautiful thing. You brought a lot of stuff with you.
You did.
Yes.
Are you going to make us something?
If you would like me to,
let's do it.
Yeah. So the first thing what I would like to make for you is what we call a Bees 10 shot.
Okay.
So
Bees 10.
It's a Bees 10. We have previously in infuse some coffee or
Okay.
some espresso.
Okay.
Okay.
And let it chill. And this is actually my youngest son's favorite coffee, hence the name Beast 10.
Okay.
His name's Bryant. His baseball number's 10.
Hey, there you
So
go.
this is where it got
Family
its
oriented.
name.
Shout
out.
Absolutely. And then go ahead, you put
I
your
love it
coffee
already.
in, you put your swirl in,
the
your caramel swirl,
love it.
you put your little bit of your vanilla and your caramel, more caramel, lots of caramel.
This is right up my alley.
Yeah, you love your caramel.
I do.
Vanilla, this one right here. Oh, icy now.
Take notes, Tennille.
Right.
Right.
You got a busy few
Substitute
weeks ahead.
barista.
Exactly,
I
there you
have
go.
to tell you, she has spent some summers and Christmases like laboring hard in the barn for me. So I do owe her
There you go.
some
Now's your
basic
chance.
skills.
Neil barista.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Okay, we're good with. I'll drink
That
it.
piece of ice, yep, go right there, go right there. Then we go ahead
She's
and we
claimed it.
add our dairy. In this case, it is a protein, lactose-free milk, so you're
Okay.
safe there.
Give it a nice
Mix
stir.
it, yeah. Now, some people like to stir it themselves, so we usually give it to the Patreon unmixed and let them stir it themselves.
Okay.
And then go ahead.
Go ahead and try it.
Go ahead and
Right.
try it.
There you go. And you know, we're talking about how the Farm Life Festival all about community. So how does the Downtown Drinkery
Bryant. This is
come
awesome.
come into play with that? Because it's really an area for the community to gather.
It comes into play with the fact that it's an intimate setting.
Yeah.
You can come in by yourself. You can sit down. You can look at your computer for hours
Sure.
and do what you need to do. You could also just hang out with your friends. You can run in. You can run out when
Yeah.
you bring it out to your car. But I wanted it to be an intimate family environment
Yeah.
where everybody could play, everybody felt welcome. I wanted it to coincide to help Tennille also have
her
her
business.
patrons come
Yeah.
in and have a place and things to do as well.
All right, well, there is the address, 201 South Main Street there in Grandview. We've got the phone number as well as the website and Facebook page up there as well. And of course, the Farm Life Festival is happening this Saturday, June 21st, 9 to 3. Free parking, of course. Admission is $5. Kids 17 and under are free.
Yeah.
Leanne and Tennille, thank you so much. This has been,
Thank you for
this has been a
having us.
pleasure.
And you are talented.
Thank
This
you.
is very
Thank
good.
you.
I will
Thank
say,
you.
yes, pay the visit, absolutely.
Yes, most definitely.
And thank you so much for watching Quad Cities Live.
Yes, Sharon DeReek is back, and she'll have your news at 4
Yeah.
coming up next.